In this video, I want to talk about a specific mindset for taking photographs. I've spoken about it before. I hope you're not bored of it. It's about considering a photograph that is about something and not of it. Once you get in the right mindset for this kind of concept, you will start taking far more meaningful photographs. You will find that there's a reason behind them. You start telling stories rather better than perhaps you were before. And it's quite powerful stuff. And great thing is, it's not that hard. When we start to consider photographs about things, we start to look at them more carefully. And this is one of the keys behind this whole idea, is we're trying to tell the story of something rather than just take a shot of the thing itself. It's perhaps hard to describe exactly what I'm getting at here, but for instance, rather than taking a photo of this boat, then perhaps I should be looking more at the elements of this boat, how this boat has been used, or whether it's been used. Has it been cleaned? Has it been maintained? Yeah, what story does this boat tell? It's about finding elements of it that talk about the boat without actually saying a word. For instance, there's a rubber fender down here under the seat that's covered in barnacles. Clearly, that's spent a lot of time in the water. There's another kind of yellow grab fender there. That's quite interesting. If you look more down here, that's a weird angle, isn't it? Yeah, the texture at the bottom, this has been sat here for a little while, but perhaps not that long. There's an oar in it, presumably to make sure that people can get to safety and such. It's a sailing dinghy of some kind, because there's a centerboard or daggerboard slot there. Mast, not sure where the mast would fit. Maybe it's not a sailing dinghy. I don't know. I mean, yes, actually, yes, there we go. There's a slot just beyond that rope for a mast to slot in as well. So there's a lot that we can talk about this dinghy, or photograph about this dinghy, and create a kind of photographic story of it. And I suppose also what we don't need to be doing here particularly is necessarily making the greatest photos, because what we're trying to do is hone our eye, make decent shots and tell stories about things. It's an exercise, and we can't always expect to get A stars in exercises, particularly if we're not used to doing them. Kind of surrounded by shots here. I suppose you might turn around and say, well, of course you are, look at the place, but it still takes an eye to see them all and see the potential, and you just got to hone that. Leading lines are great, and there's quite a lot of anchors here because the tide's out. I mean there's literally no water in the creek really, but we've got this little anchor down here, nice line to the boat. The boat's obviously not going to float, it's full of water, but the anchor's quite interesting and it provides a sweep. It's not the first time I've seen them here. In fact, there's loads. Look, if I just kind of twist here, you've got this boat beside me, there's another anchor there, and that appears to be connected to this boat here, and this blue one over here. I'm sure I've shot that before actually, and I've got an idea of what I might do with it again in a moment. Yeah, there's a chain running to it. There's lots of possible ideas here. Now, I'm not going to shoot, if I twist back again here, I'm not going to shoot this one right now because the sun is just straight ahead of me. Everything's just glare. So maybe I'll shoot that in a little while. I think, I don't know whether I'm going to have the same kind of problem with some of the others. But the point is that you might turn around and say, well, that shot's clearly of an anchor, or it's clearly of a boat. But it's not just the way what you're shooting, it's how you go about shooting it. It's what aperture you use. Are you using a shallow depth of field here? Are you focusing more on the anchor than you are on the boat? So putting the boat in really soft focus behind, in which case this is a story about the anchor, not about the boat. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a mindset. I said it earlier, I'll say it again, I'll probably keep saying, you'll get sick of hearing it. It's a mindset. But once you get it, it's transformative. This is a shot that's very much about the chain and the way that the chain is attached to this boat via a rope here that runs to somewhere back there. I assume that there's some kind of hitch or something further down in the water here. But again, a very low aperture. I won't say very low, it's f5, but you can see how close I am. What, that's, I don't know, 10 inches, something like that. And everything apart from this top link is falling off into soft focus, and I suppose we're just about getting focus on the rubbing strake as well. The sun's gone behind a big cloud. Beforehand I'd put this polarizer on just to take really the glare off the links where it was really catching. It's not doing that right now, although another 10 minutes it will probably come out again, so you might see the slightly duller shot or the slightly brighter shot, but they'll probably end up being exposed similarly. So yeah, you'll be able to tell which one it is from how bright the edges of these links are, because the sun's up there behind you. So in order to give the photograph context, we're still going wide enough, so to speak, or not necessarily wide enough, but we're including enough of the thing that we're photographing, the subject, if you like, so that we can still make out what it is, so that the story about the object can still be told. One of the compositional tools that You're noisy. One of the compositional tools that we need to always work with, and it's really more important than ever when we've got just a flat horizon, is to appreciate that that is a boundary there, and it's a very harsh boundary. Green below, blue above. And if we are going to take photographs where we've got these situations, effectively you end up with a shot of two halves, yeah, top and bottom. It doesn't matter where you put that either, because even if you're working on thirds rather than shoving it in the middle, which obviously would be a really big mistake here, it really fouls up. So we need to find a way of breaking these boundaries. Now, I'm not going to pretend that what I'm about to shoot is going to be the greatest photograph. It is not in any way, shape or form. It might be when the sun sets in another couple of hours, but here and now it's about the idea. What we need to be able to do is to be able to push the boat above that horizon, and the way we do that is by getting lower. So you see how the emphasis on this subject changes as we introduce that horizon. As soon as that horizon comes in, we've lost all interest in it. It just becomes dull. Look. Oh, not very good. Better. Arguably better again. Heck, is that even better? Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Heck, I really hope you appreciate this one. My knee is gone, and bending down is basically like someone's putting some kind of pin through it. When I get up, you can feel this crack, and and you can see where the camera is. So This is very much a shot about a small dead crab. I've manipulated it. Yeah, there's this sea lavender is literally covered in small dead crabs, but I've pulled one out, one of the larger ones, and I've placed it in a place, and it's very much the subject of this shot. I can't do it handheld because there's such a wide gamut of light and dark here, and there's a bit of a shadow being cast by my equipment as well because the light is right behind us. So not ideal, but I've got to do this as an HDR bracket, so there's 3 shots that the camera's taken on this of 3 exposures, and we'll blend them in post. As I say, the shot is about the small dead creature, of which there's lots here with the boat in the background. Let me know what you think of it. Was it worth the pain in the knee? The sun's dropped lower now, and I can get this shot of this anchor with the rope leading off to the boat that we mentioned earlier in the video. Now, again, this is quite an awkward shot because I'm looking straight into the light, and there's rather a lot of it. The other issue of looking straight into the light is that if I just pop this on to video, you will see, just open that out a little more, there's a bit of flare coming in down here, and if we want to get rid of flare, we have to play about a little bit. So the process is to shoot a series of images. Now I've got this set at f14. I might try focus stack on this as well, actually, just to be doubly kind of certain I'm going to get it, because I don't know whether I want that boat really soft or not. Anyway, let's go back to the trick of the flare removal. Just set that off there with, yeah, there's loads of flare in that, in fact, with one. I'm going to undo that again because that sun has really just come back out and there's so much more flare. Right, so we'll start here, straight 3 shots. The next one is going to have my thumb over the point of light, so the sun here, and it stops the flare. And now I can blend those in post, and it's going to look a bit like this. Okay, so there's an obvious problem with this image, and that's that the top half is way brighter than the bottom half. And it's the bottom half that contains our subject, the item that we are shooting about. We need to be really mindful of this. I wasn't when I shot this, and I've kind of resurrected the image to a degree. You may disagree with me here. However, there's another image here which does the job better, shot on the previous visit, and it was this shot that gave me the idea for the shot that I videoed here. I'd be interested in your comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the channel if you'd like to support me more, or buy me a coffee. I've never managed to get a shot of this creek and these couple of dinghies that I've been happy with. I suppose I may need your help with this shot to kind of explain perhaps how this is about something rather than of something. I may have wavered. I'm sorry. But again, it's a multiple exposure. It's bracketing, thumb over the sun to get the flare out of it, and I hope you like it. Well, I hope that's been useful to you. I'll leave you with a shot that I got looking that way a little while ago. But before I do, just remember, this is an idea, this is a concept so that you kind of get a clear view of what it is you're trying to photograph. Don't overcomplicate things. Kind of single out an element of what it is that you're trying to take a photograph about and concentrate on that element. Find a way of communicating that part of the thing that you're photographing, the subject. Find a way of conveying that in a really simple, clear, concise way, because no matter what we do as photographers, whenever we're taking good quality images, we need to be certain that the eye is drawn to what we want the viewer's eye to be drawn to. Don't overcomplicate it, don't go in too close, just go and practice. I'll leave you with the shot that I got over there, and I thank you for watching. Enjoy.